All right, so this is Jason here. Welcome to this video. What we're going to be talking about in this video is the imagery for your ad, and I'm going to give you some different ideas of types of images and show you some examples of them, and also kind of go through just kind of the thought process that you're going to want to use when developing your imagery, because things are going to be different depending on what kind of market that you're in and what you're selling and things like that. So let's first draw a line in the sand between the types of the markets, and I'm just going to separate things into two different things. So we're on the one side, we've got like information, coaching, consulting type services, and then on the other side, we've got physical products. Okay, so with physical products, the best thing that you're going to want to do is have images of the product, images of people using the product. That all of your imagery should be centered around that. Okay, so your job is really easy. It's just a matter of coming up with different combinations of those things. Like maybe it's you've got a product shot by itself, or maybe you've got some different scenarios where your ideal customer is using the product. Those are going to be the types of images you want to use, and you can just cycle through different images, and you should have really great success with that. Okay, now you can also play around with having text in the image and things like that, but as a basis, no matter what side of that line you're on, when we're starting our testing, we always use an image that does not have any text on it. Okay, so what we want to try to do is figure out if the actual picture itself is attracting people in, and then after you figure that out, then you can start playing around with having text on the image and seeing if having text on the image will produce a better result for you or not. And I'll show you some examples of that stuff in a minute. But as a basis, you should start with no text on your image. And then that will allow you to figure out what type of image and scenario will work best for your market, and then you can test that against having some text on the image to see if that works. Now, from my specific Facebook rep, I found that they've actually shifted their algorithm recently, and their system is smart enough to actually read the image, and in his words, what he told me is they can tell if the image is quote-unquote blatant advertising or not. And so the specific example he gave me is that if there's like dollar figures on the image, more of the cartoon type style images where you've got strong call to actions and a lot of text and stuff like that, they consider that to be more blatant advertising, and they consider that also to be not enhancing the user experience on Facebook. Okay, so if you do test having text in your ads and dollar figures and things like that, that's why we want to do it as a second step, and just know that it may affect the performance of your ad. It may work better, it may not. Okay, so you have to test everything individually and take everything that you learn, from me or from anybody, and put it to the test for your own specific situation. Because we have clients where we use text in the images, they work great, and we've tried plain images and they don't, and vice versa. Okay, so what I want to do is really get you to understand how to think about these things, the flow that you want to test it in, and then just understand that you need to figure out everything and test it all for your own individual situation. Okay, so again, because of the what we've done in testing in the past and what I've learned from my rep, we typically always start with a plain image that has no text on it. All right, so I'm going to center most of my time around the line in the sand where we're talking about info publishing, coaching, consulting, any type of offer where there is a product owner behind that offer. And so what you're looking at here is some ads for my client, or images that we used in ads for my client Kendall Summerhawk. And what we found is, she's a real horse aficionado. She has several horses of her own. And we found that having pictures of her in her office, up on stage at events, with her animals, they're personal type images, and they look like stuff that people would normally post on Facebook, just that they're doing on their own personal profile. And that's what we call a native image. It's native to the platform. It looks exactly like something that somebody would normally post. And what that does is a few things. One, it makes the ad blend in. It makes it look more like a normal post, so it doesn't look like it doesn't look like advertising. So that actually increases the results. It also enhances the user experience. So you'll get, if you use these types of images, if you get it right, you'll get a lot of people that like, comment, and share on that ad, and that helps the social activity on your ad, and it accelerates the results that you get. So what we'll do is we'll start with an image of the product owner. We typically want a nice smiling image in some type of natural setting. If they're a speaker, it's our coach or something, it's them up on stage, it's them in their office, it's them in a natural setting that people can relate to them. All right, so that's the first image that we use when we go into the testing that we're going to talk about in the next module. When we break everything out, we use one image in the interest test, and so we'll start with an image like this. Okay, then what you can also do is you can take that type of image, and then you can combine it up with some different things. I'm going to show you some stuff in another client's account here. So you can take pictures of your person behind there, and you can put you can put some background color on them. You can put some text in there that relates to the headline and everything that you're using in the copy and on your landing page. That's the key, that you have to have congruency there. And then you can do all kinds of different things with that. You can have a candid shot like this where you got some text over on the side. You can do like some type of cartoon or more graphically enhanced image, things that make it stand out. You can use a native type image and layer text over the top of it like this. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go with this, and that's generally the three different things that we do. We have the native image by itself. We got the native image with some text on it, and then we have some of these more graphically enhanced, I call them cartoon type images, and then we got kind of a combination between the two where we've got it's more of an advertising type thing, but we combine like the native image in with it. Now, when you do any of the text stuff on there, what you want to do is make sure that when you have it designed, that you're meeting the 20% text rule, because Facebook has they have a guideline that you can only have 20% text on your ad, and so you can go out to Google and just Google 20% text rule, Facebook 20% text tool. Sorry. And then there's this grid checker right here, and you can actually upload any image into there. I'm just going to use this one right here, and then you can tick these boxes where you have text in them, and then it'll tell you if it's more than 20% or not. Okay, so this one says this is 40%. You can't use that. So you're going to want to use a graphic designer to create these images for you with the text on them. You can go out to Fiverr.com, hire somebody on there to do it. Tell them to make sure to upload the image to this tool. Give them the URL for it, and make sure that the text fits into 5 of those boxes or less. As long as it fits into 5 boxes or less, then you'll be within that 20% rule, and you'll be fine to run that on Facebook. Okay, so that's really it to images. Just go ahead and get some good pictures, get some native pictures, and then think about some ways that you can some different ideas for how these things can be put together. Here's some things that you can look at other ads that you see on Facebook, and then send that stuff over to your graphic designer. Have them come up with some different things. One thing that you will want to do is have these high resolution, and they do need to be in a size of 1200 by 627. So 1200 pixels wide by 627 pixels high. Give those instructions to your graphic designer, and then what'll happen is that image will then format properly across any placement that you test for your ads. Okay, so that's really it to images. Go out and get those created and get ready to start running your tests in the next module.